Okay, so what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. On this episode of my reaction, I'm going to be reacting to ratings 80 through 61 of the FIFA Top 100 ratings, and we're just going to sort of see where it goes, what I think, my personal opinion. So yeah, let's get straight into it. So obviously, Rajan Golan, a very good player. He's actually, I believe, had a downgrade. Let me just take a look at this real quick. Yeah, Golan's had a downgrade. He's gone down 3 pace, gone down 1 shooting, down same passing even, sorry, the same dribbling, 2 more defending, and the same physical. So realistically, other than pace and 1 shooting, he's sort of stayed or gone up. So I mean, I'm not really too sure about the downgrade, but you know, I mean, still going to be a very good player either way. Yes, the downgrade in pace is going to hurt a little bit, but it's only 3, so I mean, it should be okay. Obviously, that move to Inter as well, that's going to allow different links. That's going to be very good for me, as I really love Perisic. That 5-star weak foot on him is just crazy. So moving on next to Alexandro, obviously a very good player, part of that Syria triangle I think I'm going to build. But yeah, I mean, he's just crazy. 85 pace, 81 dribbling, 82 defending, 83 physical, 77 passing. I mean, he just is what you need from a left back. That is just a left back entirely. Now, yes, high work rates, but if you're able to get back, and obviously you're able to put instructions on your players, you can keep them to stay back. So I mean, it should be alright, and left-footed obviously is key. Next up, we got Benashia. Now, he's a very good player. I've got his team of the season in my current team on FIFA 18. The medium-high work rates, I mean, he just sort of feels a bit like Rio Ferdinand, his team of the season card for me. And obviously, once he starts getting a few informs like this man loves to do, he's just going to be unstoppable. He will stay in people's teams for the majority of the year if he does get them. The high defending, the high physical, and even the dribbling. I know it's not overly high, but that's majorly going to ride on agility and balance. And obviously, agility and balance for a defender is quite key for those turning and trying to stop players. Now, next up, we've got Parejo. Now, Danny Parejo, his pace has always made him unusable. Now, obviously, he must be a very good player. He went from an 82 last year up to an 84 in January and now an 86. So obviously, he's doing something right. But that 47 pace is obviously going to stop people from using him. Just going to be used for SBCs and things like that. So yeah, there's not much you can really say on him. The same kind of thing with Nemanja Matic, unfortunately. Now, yes, he's got medium-high work rates for a CDM. That's very good. But I mean, the 56 pace, it makes everything else sort of unusable, and I don't really see people using him this year. Now, Douglas Costa does actually look like a very good player and someone that you can sort of see people using. Now, the 3-star weak foot is sort of what might stop people from using him, as I myself, I like people with 4-star and above. I prefer 5-star, obviously, to anything. That's why I like the Heung-min Sons, the Christian Eriksens, the De Bruynes, and potentially we might see Harry Kane get a 5-star weak foot. We'll see later on in this series. But, you know, I mean, the 5-star skills, that's going to be huge. I've only recently started using skill moves and things like that. But 95 pace, I mean, for the curb of how things are going, and it's being a pace downgrade, I really see this guy sort of being in people's teams, in people's Calcio A teams. And the 75 shooting is a bit questionable, but we don't obviously know what's in them stats. We don't know if it's going to be high finishing, low volleys and things like that. But the dribbling as well, that's going to be key for him. The low physical, you can clearly tell he's going to have low strength, probably going to have high stamina, and strength and aggression is going to be fairly low. So I mean, this card overall does look pretty good. 5'8", not too short, not too tall. But yeah, I'm excited to see what that card brings. Cesar Azpilicueta, now I believe he was a week 1 inform or something like that in FIFA 18. But this year, I mean, he again has been downgraded in pace, and with Azpilicueta, it's really strange because he doesn't have that height and he doesn't sort of have that physical presence, but as a centre-back he does the job, and I really enjoyed him this year. But I'm not too sure from day one that 77 physical is going to sort of be quite scary, because he's just going to get out-muscled by people with super teams straight away. Obviously, with there being tons and tons of icons, we might just see someone like Azpilicueta just out of the meta and sort of thrown to the side a bit. But for people's Premier League teams, it's going to be very good. Naldo, another player that's again had a pace downgrade. He's had quite a big one actually. He went from 69 pace on his 82 rated card. His 84 rated also had 69 pace, but I mean, to go down to 63, that's obviously a 6 downgrade, quick math. Kept the same shooting, a +1 passing, kept the same dribbling, a +3 defending, and +1 physical. But that's only on his 82 rated card, so I mean, it's literally a minimal phenomenal amount of stats that he's gone up in, and he's an 86 rated. So I think, like I said in the last episode, it is just making these players higher rated, making them cost more, making people pump more into the game. Next up, we have Fernandinho, who had such a great season in the Premier League last year. Sort of really showed what he can do, and in terms of what EA have given him this year, yes, they've upgraded him, but I mean, again, the pace cut, it's a -6 pace cut, and you sort of do think to yourself, like, how has he showed that he's got slower when he's had a brilliant season? So he might have got slower, but I mean, by that much, especially when he's 33 years of age, so that might be part of it. But I mean, at the end of the day, it is getting kind of ridiculous. You're not going to be able to have any fast people in midfield anymore, and it's going to cut it down to a certain few players that people are going to be able to use. Looking on his base card from last year, though, he's had a +6 defending, +1 physical, +2 dribbling, +2 passing, +1 shooting, and obviously the pace downgrade. So, I mean, it does look a very good card. If they do have chemistry styles in the game, which apparently they're not going to be, I'm not too sure, but if they are in the game, then that might be someone that is slightly usable. Next up, we have Pjanic, who's actually lost. Wow, he's lost himself. He's gone down from a 74 pace to 66 pace. My count, that's 8. He's gone down 8 pace. He's slowed down massively. How old is he? He's 28. So I mean, again, you can't really say that he's getting on and losing his speed. But hey ho. From his base card last year, he's kept the same shooting, same passing, same dribbling. He's gone up quite a bit in defense. He's gone up 6 in defending, and he's kept the same physical. So the only thing that he's gone up in is defending, which you've got to ask yourself. I mean, he's kept his 86 rating, fair enough, but you sort of do need to ask why the massive pace downgrade. Next up, we have Leroy Sané, someone that at the minute doesn't seem to be getting too much game time at Man City, so we could see him leave the club. We don't know if he's happy, we're not too sure, but 95 pace, 86 dribbling, 81 shooting, all amazing, 78 passing and 70 physical. Obviously not the best, but I mean, it's still pretty good, and he has had a skill move upgrade, so he's not going to be just that person that you can't really do something with in certain situations. That was sort of what was holding his card back last year, but with that skill move upgrade, you're sort of now putting yourself into a situation where you can use him, and you've just got to keep him on that left foot. On to number 69, we have Bonucci. Who else? I mean, he's had a downgrade. He's gone back to Juventus, which in my opinion was better for his career. He's got 61 pace, 71 dribbling, 87 defending, 80 physical. That 71 dribbling is going to be huge for a player like him, but I feel like that pace is just a bit too low. I feel like they're trying to sort of represent defenders as quite slow players, and see, the new generation of defenders are quite fast, but I mean, you sort of got to question, these players are just going to be used for SBCs and things like that, and do EA really want the same sort of players used in every single team again? Next up, we have Jerome Boateng, obviously another downgrade. I'm not too sure what happened with him this year. I think an injury was a massive part of it, but 73 pace, 85 defending, 83 physical, 72 passing and 66 dribbling, all very key. The dribbling's not too low, it's not too high. The defending, obviously the same, and as well as with the physical. That 73 pace though, it does invite someone like Boateng to sort of fit the meta of the beginning of the game. I don't see him hanging around for too long if he doesn't get any informs or things like that, but sort of just have to see with how the game goes on. Obviously no one's really played the game yet, other than the people that got the beta, but yeah, we'll just see how that goes. Next up, we have Thomas Müller, obviously the centre forward. Love Thomas Müller. Does sound a bit like Kermit in this clip. I'll roll it.
Morning.
And I don't know, I just find that kind of funny. But yeah, I mean, 74 pace, 83 shooting, 80 passing, 78 dribbling, and 71 physical. They're all kind of low for an 86 rated card. I mean, it just doesn't look too good for me. I mean, he could fit like a cam position or the centre forward position like this shows, but the pace is just a big issue. You're going to see him overlooked and overlooked and overlooked, and with them high work rates, you're going to see him dropping back. And with as low pace as he's got, it's just not going to work out. Next up, we have, in my opinion, quite a deserved upgrade. We have Edison. Looks very scary with that neck tattoo, but yeah, I mean, 85 diving, 87 reflexes, 80 handling, 90 kicking, 82 positioning. He's going to be a very good card in this game. If we see the likes of De Gea prevail again with the save with feet trait and Edison doesn't get one, then we are going to struggle in terms of if that is the meta, and if save with feet is a big thing, because it's going to be such a shame for someone with these stats to just go, you know, to go under the radar and just not be used. Next up, we have the looking walking lesbian himself, Roberto Firmino. He does just look a bit like a lesbian, but I mean, you gotta love the man. He's done very good in recent times. He would be the perfect cam in my opinion. He's got a bit more pace than Muller, sort of similar stats, but he's got 78 physical, 86 dribbling, 80 passing, 83 shooting, and 77 pace. He's actually got quite high defending as well, so that'll be pretty good for dropping back. The high work rates again though sort of does just make you think. We don't really know if custom tactics are going to allow us to make them stay up the field even more so this year, but we just have to wait and see. But overall it does look a very good card. Next up we have Marco Verratti. He's had a downgrade, I'm pretty sure. I mean, he's always been fairly useless in FIFA. He's always been really small, really slow, can't shoot, and as a CDM doesn't just really fit it because he's not strong enough, he's not quick enough. So passing the ball he's great, but other than that he's just a bit useless. Obviously the medium high work rates can help him out a bit, and the 4-star, but I really don't see Verratti getting used often. Next up we have Otamendi. Obviously an upgrade from last year. Very low pace again, low dribbling, low passing. Actually the dribbling's okay. Passing, I'm not too sure on him, but defending and physical is quite high again. The physical's not the highest, so I'm not too sure, but I mean, he looks okay. I don't really see him staying in people's teams. Obviously they're like the quick defenders, so yeah. And the high work rates for a centre back as well. It is quite difficult to tell if he's going to be any good. The second to last player we've got is Thiago. Obviously very good for skill moves. I've seen quite a bit of this guy. He is very good with the ball. 73 pace. To be honest with you, I don't think that's quite fair and representative of him. He is very quick on the ball in my opinion. 74 shooting. It's not the worst, it's not the best. It's the same as the likes of like Raheem Sterling and wingers like that. So for a central midfielder that's not too bad. Then we've got 84 passing, 89 dribbling, the two key stats for this guy, and sort of will make him slightly usable in a Bundesliga team. Obviously his height doesn't really help, but his skill moves as well will just help you get away from players, and hopefully he will be usable. But that's 67 defending and 63 physical. The 63 physical sort of drives me away from him a bit, but that defending, it's not too low, and if you put the likes of a shadow on him, then you know he is going to be usable. And finally, in my opinion, the most overrated player in the Premier League, we have Mesut Ozil. Shows up for about 5 games a season. Everyone thinks he's the best, and he's really not. In my opinion, he's way too lazy. The medium-low work rates really do resonate with me and what I think he should have. 70 pace, I don't know, he could be a bit quicker, but obviously where he doesn't put the effort in, we don't really see. 73 shooting, I think it should be a bit higher in my opinion. 84 dribbling, 86 passing. Again, both could be a little bit higher. His passing is very good, won't deny that, even though last season he did have quite a bad season, but you know, I think respectively to him, he should have a bit higher stats there. Then 58 physical. I mean, he's obviously not got the stamina, as you could see last season, not got the strength, not got the aggression, so in my opinion that's pretty fair. And 24 defending, just doesn't get back at all, so I can see where that comes from. So yeah, this has been the 80 to 61. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. We'll get on to the next one as soon as we can, as there's a few more to do, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next My Reaction episode.